A wall of fear swept across the Pacific Rim on Wednesday, but it wasn't born of panic. It was born of magnitude. A colossal 8.8 magnitude earthquake, one of the most powerful ever recorded in Russia's history, struck off the coast of the far eastern Kamchatka Peninsula, shaking the earth, jolting buildings, and setting off tsunami sirens in cities as far away as French Polynesia, Chile, and Hawaii. Within minutes, the region's most active volcano erupted, spewing ash high into the sky and casting a grim plume over the snow-covered terrain. Classified as shallow by seismologists, the quake carried even greater destructive potential due to its proximity to the Earth's surface, the kind of jolt that historically has leveled cities and redrawn coastlines. Yet, almost unbelievably, Kamchatka emerged not as a disaster zone, but as a symbol of resilience. No cities were leveled, no communities wiped out. Despite the widespread shaking, there were no casualties. Scientists at the Russian Academy of Sciences say it wasn't luck, it was decades of preparation. For over 30 years, experts had warned that a massive quake was looming beneath Kamchatka's soil. This was no freak occurrence. The region, perched on a volatile tectonic intersection near an ocean trench, is one of the most seismically active on Earth. The danger had long been known. Russia took it seriously. Buildings across the Far East were constructed with advanced earthquake-resistant designs. When the quake hit, they were put to the test, and they held. Footage from Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky, the regional capital, showed buildings swaying violently, but remaining upright. Roads too stayed intact. Cars bounced, but the pavement beneath didn't crack. Authorities moved fast. Over 600 buildings were inspected. No evacuations were needed. A kindergarten suffered minor damage, but it was empty, closed for renovation. There were no injuries. No one was reported missing. But it wasn't just infrastructure that held up. So did the people. More than 100 aftershocks followed, each above magnitude 5.0. Yet there was no chaos. Residents remained calm, following emergency protocols with practiced discipline. In a moment that captured global attention, doctors at Kamchatka's oncology clinic kept operating on a patient while the room shook around them. Equipment was braced, IV poles gripped, but the surgery never stopped. It was calm, methodical, and utterly composed. Then came a second jolt. On Thursday morning, another earthquake, this time magnitude 6.7, struck just 178 kilometers from Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky. Tremors rocked the city. Some buildings partially collapsed, but again, no casualties were reported. The first quake also triggered Pacific-wide tsunami alerts. Japan, still haunted by the 2011 Tohoku disaster, swiftly evacuated its eastern coastline. Hawaii issued warnings. So did Chile, Ecuador, and French Polynesia. In Kamchatka, thousands moved to higher ground. But the feared catastrophe didn't come. Waves in Kamchatka reached 5 meters, substantial but far from deadly. In Hawaii, they barely topped 1.7 meters. By contrast, Japan's 2011 tsunami reached heights of up to 50 meters. Experts say geography made the difference. Megan Miller, a professor of seismology at Australian National University, told ABC Radio National, "The quake struck farther offshore than the 2011 event, giving tsunami waves more time to weaken." Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov praised the response, noting that warnings were issued quickly, evacuations were orderly, and buildings performed exactly as intended.
All warning systems functioned promptly. People were evacuated from the regions and areas where evacuation was necessary due to the tsunami. In general, the seismic resistance of buildings also proved effective, so thank God there were no casualties. Technological preparedness proved its worth and performed at a high level.
The Russian Academy of Sciences echoed that sentiment, calling it a triumph not just of engineering, but of foresight. Kamchatka had trained, drilled, and built for this. And when the moment came, it didn't fall. It stood its ground. Known for its remoteness and extreme climate, Kamchatka is also one of the planet's most geologically unstable areas. NASA's Earth Observatory says the peninsula is home to over 300 volcanoes, nearly 30 of which are still active. Shaking is part of life. So is survival. What unfolded over those 48 hours was a rare collision of natural fury and human discipline. The Earth moved, the ocean stirred, a volcano erupted, but Kamchatka remained steady, focused and prepared. The world braced for tragedy. Instead, it witnessed a textbook case in disaster readiness. Stronger even than the 1952 quake that once devastated the region, this earthquake could have rewritten Kamchatka's history. But it didn't. It simply reinforced its legacy of endurance.
Смотри на стол. Ребят, качает меня до сих пор.
Да до сих пор качает.
Вот.